Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. We hope you're enjoying the last episodes, and if you like it, please tell someone and spread the word. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So with that said, in this episode, we'll be talking about my dad's time at Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I've been looking forward to this one. It holds a very special place in my heart, primarily because that's where my parents met. And in addition to all the legends that they got to see out in Vegas. So without further ado, let's start the show. All right, Dad?
All right.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's going.
All right.
Yes, I'm glad we're on to this one. Been looking forward to it, like I said, and
looking forward to it also.
Probably a two-parter right here.
I imagine so.
Right, a bunch of things to go over in this one.
It was an exciting time, really. Very exciting. Yeah, the beginning of rock and roll in Vegas, really.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You know, Elvis, I should say. Mm-hmm. That's the king. I mean, never mind. We'll get into that in a second.
All right.
But what I wanted to do is give a shout out before we started here to an event that it should receive some kind of acknowledgement, and because we're YouTubing it, and then people from all over the world could actually hear what happened here. I'd like to thank the Brown Town for the 50th gathering of Ruben Salazar. And never forget East LA, the Chicano Moratorium, I guess it was.
So
back in the day, they...
I was going to say, who's Ruben? Are you going to get to that?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. But,
we got a little interruption here.
Yeah, it's live. Anyways, the whole thing is Brown Lives Matter. Cesar Chavez, the United Farm Workers, united we stand, divided we fall. Remember to vote. That's the whole important message here. You have the power if you vote. It looked, when I was checking it out, it looked like a lot of parades. There were thousands and thousands of people that showed up. And they marched along Whittier Boulevard. And OG Kid Frost performed.
Oh, yeah?
Right? And then the big song that I mentioned here, I think in episode 1 or 2, was about the song Let's Take a Ride Down Whittier Boulevard by the Midnighters, Little Willie G. And that's the reason I brought it up, aside from remembering that I mentioned it before in an earlier broadcast. But anyways, Ruben Salazar was a civil rights activist and reporter for the LA Times. He was the first Mexican-American journalist from Main Street Media to cover the Chicano community. Salazar was killed during his National Chicano March against Vietnam War. Oh, wow. So it was, really, really something. We really don't know what really happened. On August 29th, 1970 in East L.A., the East Side had their own music. Remember I mentioned that before, where each district had their music and their everybody's little styles and all that kind of thing. So on I think it was episode 1 or 2 when we were talking about the Midnighters and that the brown side of town. Anyways, that community, Ruben was a mouthpiece for the community. He was over there in English, and then he got on a radio station in Spanish. He's from Texas, and he came in here, and he was out there with the people that I like to go ahead and say thank you to is the Brown Berets. At that point in time, they had a movement that was going on, a brown movement, and it was a pretty powerful movement. I wasn't involved in it, but I knew the musicians that played around all that area.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing was that, that particular movement was very strong, and because Salazar was such a good, strong mouthpiece, then who knows whether he was killed by the police or not.
Oh, wow.
So he was in a bar taking a break from the event, and silver dollar, I think it was, right? Silver dollar. And then they threw in a
Where was this at?
This is East LA, Whittier College. Okay. Whittier College, I'm sorry, Whittier Boulevard. And the police were doing a sweep. That's generally what we do. I was trained in that kind of stuff myself, but right. Thank God I didn't have to go ahead and use that kind of force. But anyways, so they were doing the sweep, and when they came down, Ruben was taking a break, having a beer over at the Silver Dollar, and here the question was, they threw in a tear gas bomb to go ahead and vacate the place. So I don't know if he got warning or whatever, but usually you warn everybody when you start doing tear gas. But anyways, you threw in the tear gas, and then all of a sudden one of those rubber bullets hit Ruben in the head and killed him. Wow. Now in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, now, really unfortunate, but then how could you possibly say that it was or wasn't it an intentional hit with that? So today it's still a mystery. But today's kids are out there still remembering Ruben, and it was great to go ahead and see that all the lowriders got together, all the parade people got together, the Native Americans from Mexico and, basically Mexico, came in to go ahead and dance and perform, and everybody remembered Salazar as a real community person, and they were really strong about the Vietnam War. The percentages of Latin American people that were getting killed in the war was pretty darn high for the amount of people they brought in. Right. So aside from that, they also did go ahead and riot because they had the poorest education numbers in the whole United States. So it was ranked third to the lowest. And they received the money, but then the kids didn't learn crap. It's just really bad. Right. So it's just another thing too. The school that he went to was El Rancho in Pico, Rivera. Okay. Now he went to continuation school, but when I go back into my memory bank, I think about Pico Rivera, El Rancho. Well, I remember when I was at Disneyland for my graduation class, I met these pretty fine little girls from that area, and our class wasn't having a after breakfast graduation gathering, but Pico Rivera was. So I went to El Rancho to go ahead and have breakfast with these girls I just met. Nice. Then I worried about a ride back home later, but that's good. So anyways, it's part of the John history of wild madness, really. All right. That area. But along with that, the seriousness is just go out there and vote, everybody. That's what we spend our time to go ahead and do, is to go ahead and promote activity in the neighborhoods, to go ahead and have our voice heard. And we need to respark that particular type of move, to go ahead and jump out there and vote, feel proud, and take care of business. That's right. Okay, now along with that said, I thank you. Great words, Darren. All right. Thank you for telling us that history, because I'm not really familiar with that myself. And, just to hear that happen, right here at East LA. Right. That does trigger that movement, and that's how things are feeling about right now too, with everything else that's going on. That's right. That's right. Because I was thinking of all the movements that are going out there, and you hear about Black Lives Matter, but so do brown and so do red. Red, we won't be talking Native about Americans, red. That's right. Indians, really, really bad news there. That's just. But anyways, we'll get into maybe some topic like that in future. We'll throw that in a little bit here and there, because I really stumbled across this real good item to talk about. But we'll get into that later. Right now, let's go ahead and venture into Las Vegas, Nevada. Nellis Air Force Base was my my particular next assignment. Yes. And then again, like I think I mentioned before, about when you're inside the environment. And then you surround yourself with that kind of environment, and actually your whole being is part of that environment. It follows you around. It protects you. And so I'd have to go say that my musical experiences through all these different environments have been like my guardian angels. because they protected me through quite a few things that mentally I'd probably be discouraged about not wanting to quest for more different things. And so the same thing happens now. All of a sudden, here I am. I was supposed to go to Vietnam.
Right, yep.
And so I was going to be ducking bullets. And then all of a sudden something occurred. And boom, here I am with this wonderful, the colonel. He made colonel. And we both had to separate when we got to Nellis. But anyways, here I am in the hub of the entertainment industry.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, away from Hollywood, but I could still fit inside Las Vegas, and this is really awesome. So here I am in Las Vegas. So right here, now you got to remember, this is before Elvis came into Vegas when I showed up. Yeah, I can't remember what month that was, but anyways,
still, what year is that though?
Yeah, I think it was 68.
68.
Yeah. So well, maybe it was 69. 68. Okay, thank you. My corrector. My database is over here to my right. You can't see her, but pretty soon you will. Anyways, back then it was the kings of the strip were, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop. They owned the strip before Elvis showed up. So, and along with that, let's see, I have a note here, boom. Yeah, my leader over there, Fats Domino, was over there pretty close to performing, just about 10 months out of the year over there in Vegas. So he he was locked in to the Vegas, not the main showroom, but then the lounges. So the lounges were actually taken over by quite a few of, wonderful performers. And it was just a good place to go ahead and be stationed. Yeah. Now, the first thing, of course, I had to find my room. So here I am pulling up inside there. First thing I find out, what a surprise. I was rooming with Terry Forbin. Terry Forbin, he was his assignment, his AFSC, his personal assignment was actually, he received tickets and accommodations for all the entertainment on the base. So when people showed up, Terry took care of them to make sure that they had entertainment packages, food packages, places to stay.
So that's
my roommate.
Oh, that's your roommate.
Yeah.
from the Air Force.
From the Air Force.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh wow.
And we both had the same rank, so we were tied up together. But the funniest part of that picture is, here I am talking about entertainment.
All right.
Yeah, his brother performed with Steve Miller. Steve Miller's band, the Joker.
Steve Miller band, yes.
Fly Like an Eagle, kind of thing from Alameda Bay, San Francisco. And so it's just like I said, music just follows you around when you're inside that. It followed me around when we were inside that same kind of bubble.
I like how you say that.
Here,
right? Yeah.
Here we are. Here's Terry over there.
Right.
And so naturally, again, let's see. His brother played along with Steve Miller, and then of course we had quite a few other people that were there that same level of playing, but they weren't really out like Steve Miller. But at nighttime, because he was part of the Air Force group of people that performed,
right?
So then naturally had to go ahead and showcase the Air Force, because that's our main thing, showcasing entertainment and try to keep them there at the base and that kind of thing. And, we'd have people come over to the barracks all the time, and they'd be singing, playing. You'd have the best in the Air Force.
That is so sweet.
In Nevada to come over to my room all the time and play. So I used to play with all these people all the time. We'd never get sleep.
Oh, jeez, I bet.
It was like one big old turnstile where you just go in and out. Here comes the next thing. Hey, are you guys awake? Hey, all right.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we're okay.
So they'd come around to go play?
Right. Go shoot the bull and find out about their, wherever they had to go to entertain the troops.
Sure.
So then, it was just like,
so
we got the cream of the crop.
First stop, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Well, you have to get your tickets.
Right?
You have to go ahead and get yourself your preparation, your paperwork, and all that kind of thing.
Sure.
See what it's like. So, yeah, you never know who stepped in. I know we must have ran into some super people, but at the time, I was just I drank a lot, so I don't know who went inside there to go. Sure. But I just know we had a good time night and day.
Right. Oh man, that's great.
Yeah. So unreal. Yep. Yeah, well, what was my little note say? Oh, yeah, we'd stay up and jam all night.
So that was in your barracks, or that was just a certain room everybody going to? Like,
yeah, that was our room in the barracks.
Oh, it was.
So we had our own slot. I think I had one other roommate, but I don't remember who that was. But it'd probably be. I remember Little Joe, and Jack Loomis, and all these guys would come in all the time. But,
right.
They were wannabes, and so we had a lot of wannabes coming in too.
Well,
yeah, so it was pretty neat because then everybody knew what we were up to and really what they were looking for: free drink tickets and show tickets. But
right.
Everybody showed up.
Yeah.
So that was really a surprising thing to do, to go ahead and get tied up with Terry. Yeah, let's see now. Moving on. At this point in time, I had to make a career change because I went with the colonel as far as I could go. So then, if I would have stayed with my group, we were actually called. We were part of Operation Red Horse. So because the Red Horse group had taken off, and then I was there to shut down that last base in Waco.
Yes.
Then I took off with the colonel over here to Nellis. And the only way that we could go ahead and I could stay at that place was to change career titles. So then I got away from administration and everything else, and then they put me in the post office. So I became a postal courier guy. And when I was in the post office there, then that was directly across the street from the generals and everything at the base.
Right. So
my base commander, even though the base I was at, can't remember his name, Mr. He's a 4-star, maybe 3-star general.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Anderson, I think his last name was. But anyways, my base commander was at Travis Air Force Base by San Francisco. So I never seen my commander. So what a perfect spot!
Yeah,
what a perfect spot to get stationed.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say the opposite. Oh, you're right across from your commander. You're going to be watched over.
No, what would happen was he'd call up my commander over there and say, "Hey, John's got to go get some detail out there to clean up that post office. It's looking pretty bad. And we got some special guests coming in, so." Wake them up. Go out there and get a detail out there and clean up that area.
Right.
So that would be that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course payday, boom, everybody would really make the post office filthy. Yeah. Open their checks and throw the envelopes on the ground and smoke all around, and But the thing was, it was a good place to be because they worked together with our side was military. And then next to us was civilian. So actually I got to know the leader of the postal union, what do you call them, the union people.
Right.
They worked next
Teamsters?
to me. Right.
The Teamsters, yeah.
They were there in Vegas. And the postmaster general was also watching over me. So then of Las Vegas, or Nevada. Yeah. So then... they offered me a position after I got out of the service to go ahead and work for the post office without having to take tests or anything.
Oh, that's great.
But then things look better in California, and I want to get out of there. But anyways, so that's getting ahead of myself. But anyways, it was pretty neat. So I decided I did get inside the postal service there. I had to change. I was part of Tactical Air Command. The post office. You're almost like wherever they want to put you. So, but I was still part of Tactical Air. Along with that, we were part of we were support unit for the Thunderbirds. So you see the Angels flying around.
Sure.
But then we're the Thunderbirds. We're Air Force, and we supported them. And then on some details, I even had to clean up the runways, like like people in the ground crews and things like that when we had shows, and then another part too when we had if anything really bad happened and we lost a pilot or a plane, and I was supposed to go out there and look for the nose cone of the airplane, and as part of that detail. So they had me just going around all over the place.
Sure. That's what you were doing when you're in Texas as well, right?
Right.
The runways.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was part of the same. I was part of, they call it Roads and Dirt. Yeah, it was part of the civil engineers unit.
Yeah. Right, yes.
We do whatever it takes.
Right, yeah. Still followed you over.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wear all these hats.
Yep.
Yep, and that's just the way it is. Yep. So over there, let's see, what else did I have to do? Yeah, I was over there, let's see. Well, I'm in a new base. My sergeant in charge was actually a staff sergeant. Just come back from Vietnam, Sid Atkins. And it was hazardous duty pay. He bought himself a 1969 Roadrunner. And it was a 440 mag.
Sure.
And once you left the city limits of Las Vegas, you could open it up as fast as you can go. So we used to run that thing 150 miles an hour all the time once we left the city limits. Put it on cruise control and scoot.
Sure.
He was a country western guy, so we listened to country music all around the desert. It was awesome.
That's sweet.
Oh, Sid, yep. But
tearing it up out there.
No, we had a good time out there. No speed laws. 150 was, I think, the maximum on that. So I remember doing a Corvette at about 160, but I really think that Roadrunner could probably match that Corvette. But really, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure, that Roadrunner was really, really flew. Then I remember going 160 on that, maybe about a 65 Corvette Stingray.
Oh, wow.
But we had the air conditioner on. So I don't know about that.
That's funny, right?
But then we had the air conditioner on the Roadrunner too.
Right.
Yeah.
Still had that horsepower.
Wild times.
Right. Still that horsepower.
Yeah. Everybody wanted full ponies. Maybe they come back and they're used to excitement.
Right.
What else is going to excite you except a powerful muscle car, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But anyways, back in the early days of Vegas, the mob used to run Vegas. So we were there during the mob days. To me, back in that day, it was probably the best time there was, because the mob was probably the only group of people that really liked us. Out there, everybody was protesting the Vietnam War. You wore your outfit. You wouldn't really wear it into town at all. People, unless you were close to the base, North Vegas. But, it wasn't desirable back then. So all the younger girls, like my wife and everybody, they weren't really that happy with us too much, because, everybody's down on Vietnam. So, we basically stuck around pretty close to North Vegas at that time. Now, North Vegas, they had, of course, I had to get my list of clubs not to go to. So then once I found the clubs not to frequent, then I decided to hit those places. So.
That's right. Best places to go.
That's right. Yeah. Let's see. Atlanta's talking. Yeah, one thing good about Vegas back in that time, too, was, the mob would take care of you because they ran it. And so what was nice about them, I remember... probably skipping ahead of myself, but I worked over at at a gas. We didn't get much pay. I think when we looked in 1969, I think I was looking at my paycheck for me, the wife, and a baby. The service gave me $160 a month, and that's not going to go very far.
That's right.
So then I ended up working part-time jobs, and because of these part-time jobs, and I found out the mob really ruled everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a hold of one guy, the mob guy, then he'd direct you to a gas station, wherever, a casino, whatever, wherever you could go ahead and work, where you had connections. Everything was real tight with each other. It wasn't like, you didn't fill out a resume, you didn't go do an interview. You knew so-and-so, boom.
You got it.
Good enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're in. He sent you, you're all right. So that's the way it really ran. And then they took care of us quite well.
Mm-hmm.
When we had show tickets and all that kind of thing, they gave them to us. So we got free food, free drinks, and all that kind of thing. Cheaper place to stay for our parents. And, the mob took care of our group.
Right.
And even our base commander turned over working when he retired at Nellis there. Then he ended up working for one of the major casinos. So,
oh, really?
They just took care of you really nice
he
back
knew them
in that
too.
day.
Yep.
Then the stars that were out there, like the Sinatra, the Rat Pack and everything, everybody would say hi to you. It was real nice. It was just, it was nothing like today. You get all these press people all around, and then you hardly be able to get in to see the person you wanted to just get a glance at.
Yes.
But back in that day, it was just, hey, how's it going? Hey,
people just walking by.
Yeah, just walking by. Hey, all right,
Yeah.
And like I said, I think before another podcast, I mentioned that I should have got autographs and pictures.
Oh, sure,
but I never did that because, I remember what Uncle Harry told me. Even this was before Uncle Harry.
Right.
I still never did that. Yeah, either.
Right. Yeah, didn't feel
comfortable. I just felt like I was infringing on their moments of whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Instead, I found out later on they didn't mind doing it, but oh well.
Right. Yeah. So you had some jobs then that you're working for?
Oh yeah.
Maybe some mobsters or or people who are connected.
No, super mobsters.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So how does
today's world? Do you remember that place called Glitter Gulch?
Yeah. Fremont?
That's right.
Oh, man. Yeah. The plaza, right?
Right
Plaza Hotel.
Topless place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a doorman for a day.
No way. Just a day?
Wasn't yet. Well, Diana.
Oh, no.
I told her, and she goes, "No, you're not working there." The mob guy was taking care of me. I was actually working at his car lot.
Yeah.
And then he owned that other place too, so topless places.
You're right.
So then he goes, "Oh yeah, well, because before when I was here, when I was going to the college here, Cerritos, then I used to work at the car lots in between classes and stuff. So I'd be the guy that dusted off the cars and washed them and made them look nice for people to look at.
Right.
But anyways, when later on I became a wholesaler, and I did quite a few things with cars. I made quite a bit of money doing cars. But anyways, when I was there and they found out the kind of background I had in cars, then they let me do the same thing here. Right. And then from there, after that, they seen that I was pretty savvy because I had a team of people driving cars from the auction to different car lots. Yeah. And then I was a wholesaler too, so I wholesale cars to different used car lots.
Sure.
So then when they found that out, they go, he qualifies for the glitter. It wasn't called, it wasn't called it back then. I can't remember what it was.
I was going to say.
It changed names. Time, but right there on Fremont, it's still open.
Right? Jesus. That is so funny. Remember that place.
But anyways, that was one. And then another one was at the Circus Circus. Yeah, I worked there when it first opened. Remember now, this is Vegas at the very beginning, so the Circus Circus.
So when did that open? Was about 68 then? Or just
maybe,
before that?
Oh, was it? Yeah, 68, 69, right, maybe 70.
Yeah,
right around that time frame.
Okay.
But anyways, the guys there, what they had me do, I was working in a laundry room. So then, because I worked there, and then because it was run by the mob, then the way things would work there, you just go in, punch in your card,
Right.
You go to work, and then when you had to leave because you needed sleep before you went back to the base to go to do the day job.
Sure.
Just punch out whenever. And that's how nice they were to us service guys.
Wow.
They let us go punch in when we needed, when we didn't.
Right.
Another example of that would be...
they got paid.
Oh, yeah. And another place I worked at, the convention centers, selling beer and peanuts and whatever. You know, whatever was going on at the convention center. But... yeah, on that thing, I was surrounded by nothing but real gamblers. I mean, these are hardcore gamblers. And what would happen, they'd be down on their luck. So then they'd be out there hustling beer, too, to go ahead and make some more money to get back on the tables.
Oh, wow.
And so the Mint would go ahead and hire them, give them a flop house in the back. I think it was $2 a night or something to sleep on some cots.
Right.
And then they'd wash dishes back there, and then they'd have a meal. And then after that, they'd go to the convention place to make some real cash.
Right.
Then after that, then they get themselves back on the table. So, you know, they'd be up there in the hundreds of dollars in the, you know, one in a night, or maybe thousands.
Sure.
Then when the Vegas tables are starting to get pretty cold, then they'd run over to Reno to go ahead and play. So their route was Reno, Vegas, back and forth. Yeah. Then after, some of the adventuresome guys would go over to the East Coast, I guess. But, you know, around... yeah, really, I didn't know that area that well. I went to the East Coast to Trump's Casino over there, but yeah, it was nothing like ours. I mean, ours was so good compared to the East Coast. Really, I don't know that much about the East Coast casinos, but I just know Vegas. Vegas is Vegas. You can't beat it. Period.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah, but anyways, back in those earlier days.
Yeah,
it was pretty exciting. Yeah,
no,
exciting.
Love to hear those mob stories. That was actually just one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast too. Was your buddy was telling me, "Hey, your dad knows some cool stories." You know, we're telling him, "Hey, we're going to Vegas one time, and we're staying to old downtown."
Right.
And then he was like, "Yeah, you should go to their Smithsonian out there or something. Talk about your mob stories, just so it can be on record too."
Right.
Yep.
Now, you know what I did? I did go over there to the Mob Museum.
Okay, yeah.
And then they sent me over whatever they called, you know, the guide person.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Then they sent me to the person that ran the store. Remember that time, Dee? Yeah, and then, let's see, she came down, we started talking.
Right.
And then she couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, no, they were the best, you know.
Right.
Yeah, they took care of us real well. And she was glad to hear that story, so she wrote it down inside her little notebook saying,
"Oh, cool."
You know. So it was, it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way they were. Diana, my wife, your mom. But anyways, she worked for one of the biggest mobsters around, you know, Howard Hughes. You know, you can't beat Howard Hughes.
Oh, really? What hotel?
The Sands Hotel.
The Sands.
Yeah, that was that was you know, as we go on, let's see, where did I get to the Sands here? We haven't got to that yet, but it was it was pretty darn good. He worked for back then the Sands was like the hub for all the all the Rat Pack. So Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis, everybody played the Sands.
Yeah.
Then your mom was like the auditor or whatever. She went down to each casino and balanced the books. She was in the office graveyards. That was the best shift. You know, to go ahead and see stars.
Yeah, sure.
And well, I'm getting ahead of myself on that one. I should probably put this in order, so I better not get to that spot. But
sure, you can jump back into that.
We'll get back inside that one.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so let me go back over here. We're the super gamblers, small money, boom. Well, yeah, another good thing about when I was working out there was, let's see, the small, boom, Reno. Yeah, when we were working at the convention center, I got a chance to go ahead and see pretty close to all of Muhammad Ali's fights.
Oh, no
because
way.
I'd go inside there, and everybody would be in there. I'd go there with my little beer hat.
Yeah.
And then when finally there's a main event, I'd stick my beer underneath the seat, take my hat off,
sure,
and just sell beer to people right around me.
They just come up to you.
Yeah, go away and watch the fights. It was an awesome job.
Wow. Say any one of them? Anything that stands out, or what fight was there?
No,
Can you think
I,
of anything?
No, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I remember. I think it was Jerry Query. I think was the one that was sticks in my mind because, I seen the fights. But Jerry Query, I ran when I was driving a bus. This is, 30, 40 years later. Mm-hmm. I ran into Jerry Query's sparring partner.
Yeah.
Now I was picking up people that had disabilities, and then I guess because he got beat up pretty fair, his balance was off.
All right.
His name was Bobby Munford. He was on the top 10 heavyweight contenders back in the Muhammad Ali days. Mm-hmm. And then I picked him up, and he was built. Oh my God, this guy was built strong. And I was going, oh crap, this guy's, I don't know what he's doing on this bus. But then real nice guy, just tell him, I think they ranked me number 4 or 5 heavyweight champions. I was there at Muhammad Ali's time, and I was Jerry Query's sparring partner right here in California. And I was going, oh man, all right. But every day he'd take off to Santa Ana to go in the store and hang out just to go ahead and be amongst people. Mm-hmm. So I'd pick him up over in Anaheim, take him to Santa Ana, drop him off, and later on, I'd pick him up later on at night. Mm-hmm. And everybody knew him. He'd talk to everybody. So he was just going out, But small world, you run into...
Sure.
I think I was telling you that story about when I was driving the bus and I ran into Howard Rumsey, same kind of thing. So it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Here I am with a contender.
Right.
Inside that world when it was tough, real tough. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were there.
People and everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you had a piece of it.
That's right. Yeah.
That's great, Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah. You know what? Later on in time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Muhammad Ali, I got a chance to talk to him.
Oh, really?
So, we had pictures together and everything else. It was...
So that's when he was Muhammad Ali, not Cassius?
Yeah, when he was Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cassius Clay. No, you couldn't touch Cassius. Yeah, Muhammad you could, but not Cassius. No, he had an entourage right around. Yeah. No, but he was, to me, he was... I'd probably say the injustices to a person like that. Now, I was switching a little bit of politics on that. Mm-hmm. We were talking about Muhammad Ali. Now, a person with high morals and principles. So himself, he didn't want to go to Vietnam because he didn't want to kill his black brothers.
Right.
Now, what stronger statement is that? These guys go over here, they do something bad, and then they go to federal prison for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. Muhammad Ali, during his prime time, they kept him out of the ring for 4 or 5 years, so that way when he comes out, he won't be worth a crap.
Yep.
And that's the way they did it to him. And here I am, hate to badmouth anybody, but, my leader... President of the United States got out on bad feet.
Your leader.
So, I got a problem understanding that. And then what's his name? And
had money.
Then Clinton took off there to Oxford, so he didn't evaded the draft in that way. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness Trump, what's his name? Bush Jr., at least he was in. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't an outstanding guy, but he was in. It wasn't like his dad. His dad was worthy. But I go on, and then Obama. What is Obama? Something. None of these guys did service time. So to me, I'm just really down on anybody that didn't do service time become our leader.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, back on that. So Muhammad got spanked pretty hard for doing something. But then again, that reminds me of another guy that I met out there.
All right.
Who was just as powerful, extremely powerful in the red community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Russell Means.
Yes.
Now, he took over Alcatraz to go ahead and prove a point. And when he did that, he was charged with 189 charges to go ahead and keep him incarcerated, with the federal government finally incarcerated him. And finally he got out. And when he got out of federal prison, all the charges were dropped. But that was after the movement had its power.
Wow.
You know, the power subsided because of this, that, and the other. His movement was pretty forceful. It was using guns and that kind of thing. So, yeah, that was, things happened there. You got to look up that name, Russell Means. And then I remember him telling me one time, John, you got to learn to speak. You should be out there speaking. And I told him, I don't want to be circled. And I said, oh, well, each person's got their thing. But he told me that's what I needed to do to clear myself up. So maybe that's why I'm here today.
It's a circle following you around.
Yeah. But anyways, right. So I went a little bit off topic over there, but back.
All good stuff to check out.
Yeah, my first stop at clubs on Not To Go. I think that's where I was going. That's where I was going with this.
Yeah, that's it.
On the west side of Vegas. Now that was the dark side of town. So then I was not supposed to go to this place called Rubens. And of course, there I was. That was super soul music and at its best. It was all the people who played the lounge shows, because back then I don't think they had too many people of color playing the main showrooms. And I was thinking way back then, I remember Dionne Warwick, she played the main. And Sammy Davis played the main.
Right.
Probably Sidney Poitier might have played. Lena Horne. But anyways, very, very small. But anyways, all the players, the people that were, touchable the other way, players that are players. Yeah, they go over to Rubens over on the west side. That was primarily the dark side. I'd never take the wife or anybody else with me except people from the base. And that was really exciting. A lot of good music, a lot of good times inside the west side.
Right.
On that same side of town, now black entertainers weren't allowed to go ahead and stay in the same hotel as the regular Caucasian group of people.
Wow. Yeah.
So they'd send them over to the hotel called the Moulin Rouge over on the west side. That was over on Decatur, on that side of town. And over there, I really don't remember me going inside that place, but I just knew of it. And then I never did really, well, I asked some of the old timers, but they knew about it. Then they asked me what places I'd been.
Yes.
Well, I've been down over there to Rubens,
Rubens
what about, and then they go run amok on me. But
sure.
Yeah.
That you were enjoyed that scene.
Yeah, it was
involved in it.
Yeah, a lot of people that were good players out there, the best players. But anyways, let's see, where was I? North Las Vegas. That was, so I went to a couple places out there, north side. The place, let's see, on the west, that was the west side I talked about. Now on Fremont, there was a country western place. So, of course, I had to do country too. I love all brands of music. And that place is called the Silver Dollar. So everybody would hang out at the Silver Dollar. So that was pretty darn good too. Yeah. Oh, it's still there.
It's still there? All right.
Yeah. One time I went over there on a Monday night. What I wanted to do is sit in on some jam sessions in Vegas. This was in the mid-'90s. And then brought my guitar, little amplifier, ready to go.
All right.
Pull up there, and then I find out that they have like a blackout Monday. So no places played any music. Yeah. And I was out there, oh, crap. Now I'm going to have to sleep in the van. All this. No. But anyways, so I ended up playing at the Silver Dollar. It was so much fun. Yeah. I had to play a little country music. But back then, it was the main place for country music. That Boulder Station and, the bowling alley, that kind of thing. So... yeah, so it was pretty good. It was one of the places. And of course, there were a lot of little small bars, beer bars up and down.
Sure.
Every little beer bar had slot machines. So that's the way the town worked back then.
Some of the local spots.
Right. Yeah. Let's see, West Side, and that was North Side. Now I was when I was out there in the north side of town, my business part took over. And what I wanted to do was to go ahead and paint curbs. Over there, I tried to get a permit to paint curbs. So that way it wouldn't infringe on the gambling industry. I'd go out there and make $1.50 a painting.
Sure.
And then I got all these stencils, paints, and all that kind of thing. And then I found out that you needed permits to go over there. In order to get these permits, you had to run through the city or basically go through the mob to go ahead and get them. So I couldn't get a permit. So there went that idea. Next idea was nobody that was under 21 could go to these places. So then I was thinking about starting up a place that had 21 and under kids to go, and then we'd go ahead and bring out the music. Same bottom line, no one would go along with the idea.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So, it's
keep
just
21 and over.
Ideas, right? 21 and over, that was it. Yeah. One thing I learned a lot over there was because we were in our uniforms, then when you started to wear your street clothes, you weren't really in the scene unless you went out there. And I can't remember the name of the clothier store. But over there, it's the first time that I got measured for outfits and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So you go over there and buy bell-bottoms and the flowery shirts and all that. And they do the measurements on you and they cut everything right.
That's so sweet.
And you get these little platform shoes. Ascots to match your different outfits.
All right.
So you had to dress up to be part of the scene.
Yeah.
So then you had the little ugly old haircut, but
Oh, that's interesting.
That's how everybody could tell if you were in the service. But when normal people would come in from other places, they go, "Oh wow, look at all these, look at how cool." So we had our cool outfits on during that time frame. So in Northtown, that's the first time I got set up. I found a place from the guys in the service. So we all went down there. Oh yeah, then they gave us credit. That's how we got it.
Oh really? Nice.
They gave us credit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we had a good time over there.
Yeah, you'll be back.
Yeah. Let's see the best.
I like those custom threads.
Yeah. Then. Northtown over there. That I used to go to this one burlesque bar. And the reason I'd be at the burlesque bar, I really didn't care about naked women or anything. All I cared about was hearing good music. Inside these burlesque places, these guys that played on the strip, these jazz players, they come out and play at the burlesque clubs after their gig was over on the strip.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
So good.
You couldn't believe how good of players you'd run into. I mean, unreal.
Yep.
So you go out there, and everybody over there watching dee 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 dee, and I'm sitting there going dum 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 dum
to the music, right? That's right. That's too funny.
That was burlesque to me, watching these guys play those notes, dancing around. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah, so you never know. I never did find out who played because usually they'd stick to themselves. But they were jazz players, pretty, different breed. It wasn't like the blues players or rock and roll players or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, it was the blues players. I mean, the jazz players.
Yeah, more sophisticated.
Right. Yeah. And plus that, you really didn't want to get in their business, so.
Right. No.
Yep. Yeah, then remember this other time I was in a place called Larry's. I think Larry's is still there in North Vegas. But it was a casino. It wasn't a big casino. It had maybe 2 or 3 card tables. And then a drinking spot for all the GIs. So I was down there. I think I won about $800 one night. And back in that day, remember now, $150 a month would be what you get from the service. I won $800 in a night.
Oh, wow.
And so I never won anything that big in my life. So it was just like, wow, awesome.
Yeah, gotcha.
Then the next day you go back there and you think, all right, I'm going to go back and knock them out today. You know, I found my place.
Yes.
Go over there. Then they saw me back in there. So then they called up this lady with big boobs to sit right next to me. Then this other guy over here that kept playing right next to me, a card shark.
Right.
And then the waitress kept coming by and giving me all these Scotch and waters. I was a Scotch and water drinker back then. They kept on drinking me up.
Right.
Finally, one time I got so toasted that I knocked over my drink, spilled it all over the card table.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they go over there and clean that table up, and then they moved me to the next table.
Kept you going, huh?
Keep me going.
Oh,
finally, they got back about, I don't know, maybe $300-400. Right. Finally, I woke up, and then I took off. But at least I walked out with about half of it.
Yeah. At least you passed out. It was a blessing in disguise. Lost it all.
That's what they were going for. Let's get some of our money back.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Yep.
Rope you in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was way too funny. Yeah, back in that time frame, I guess right now I'm at the International Hotel. Now, the International Hotel's where, Elvis played. And
really? All right.
That's where he came in. Now, before they had a big gathering, before they opened that hotel, and some of the people that were there were like Bob Hope, Johnny Carson, Andy Williams, Ray Bolger, Dorothy Lamour, Sal Mineo, Flip Wilson, Jackie Cooper, the Mills Brothers, Red Foxx, Wilt Chamberlain, the Osmonds, and then, of course, the Colonel, Elvis's main guy. But they had an event over there where all the heads came in to understand how the casino was going to work and all that kind of thing.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it was really neat. A good part of that story is that later on in time, first we were living in a trailer, and then finally we ended up moving right behind that casino.
Oh, really?
So the service ended up giving us a hotel room right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, wow. So much going on. A good spots there.
But anyways, in the 70s, they showcased, let's see what I got here. The International Hotel showcased the Ace Trucking Company, Louis Armstrong, Eddie Arnold, Pearl Bailey, Billy Baxter, Tony Bennett, James Brown, Johnny Bryant, Glenn Campbell, Johnny Cash, Perry Como, Bill Cosby, Bobby Darin, Dom DeLuise, Lala Falona, Red Foxx, Aretha Franklin, Good Time Sisters, George Hamilton, Pat Henry, Tom Jones, the Imperials, Gene Kelly and his Fabulous World of Girls, Ruth Buzzy, Kate Medford, Frankie Lane, Liberace, Anne Margaret, Bobby Moore's band, Elvis, Juliet Prose, Nipsey Russell, Sammy Shore, Red Skelton, Bobby Steves, and the Checkmates. Now that's what I was wondering about on that Bobby Steves and the Checkmates. I remember there was a group out there that they asked me to go on tour with them. Because remember, here I am, I'm playing a little bit. And then at the time, I was just married and just had a baby, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just going to get out of the service. And then I can't remember where I was, North Vegas probably. And then they said, "What do you play?" I started playing the guitar with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes, "Oh, yeah, we could teach you everything on the road. We're going to do the hotel circuit. We're going to go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, we're going to come back and open up the Union Plaza Hotel over here on Fremont, downtown." And then I was going, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So I don't know if it was with Bobby Stevens or not, but remember that time we were on our way to Chicago?
That was Checkmates, though?
Those were the guys. Do you remember we seen them? We stopped off to Vegas to eat before we took further off north.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our target was Mesquite, I think. Our target was Mesquite.
Yes,
and then we were going through, and then we were hungry, so we stopped off for that rib dinner or something.
Right.
Those guys were there playing in a little lounge.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 2 or 3 of them right there.
Yeah.
Those were the guys.
Oh, no
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So, they're still out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then I was going, yeah, maybe it's a good thing I didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah, plenty of real good stories, but
sure.
Yeah. And then back then too, I had an attorney take care of some business, and the attorney happened to be Rennie Asherman. I think his name Asherman or Rennie Asherman. Oh well. Anyways, Rennie. Yeah, I can't hear. I got the mic on. My corrector over here.
Ashelman.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Yeah. Anyways, he was the union representative for the musicians union in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh wow.
Yeah, I was there. I was in solid with this whole group.
Them,
Here I am.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my mother was friends with the judge. Can't remember his last name. Sanchez, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, they were doing a thing for me. I was changing my name at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, it was probably about the best thing. I never had to say anything except yes in court. Right. That's about it.
No fines.
No, nothing. Boom. But anyways, it was pretty exciting place over there. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really.
I got one of those records actually.
Yeah.
Checkmates. Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
right.
Yeah, I was actually with Mom. We were when we were out in L.A. Yeah.
Wow.
By this little thrift shop, had records there.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh yeah, these guys are good."
Right.
Awesome.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. All right, I'll bring it.
Yeah. Okay. Now inside the International, they had a place called the Casino Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is still in the International,
so
right?
Where is the
now
International? Yeah.
Pardon?
What was it, or what is it now, or is it?
Now it's Westgate.
Okay, so it's the former Hilton.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, the Hilton. My grandfather was offered a job there.
Mm-hmm.
He's friends with the Hiltons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in the day, they helped open up Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, the place in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
That holds all those in downtown L.A.
Yeah, I'm not familiar now.
Yeah, anyways, it's where all the plays are and everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he was the head chef over there.
Mm-hmm.
But because my uncles went to school with Kurt Krikorian and the family, the Hilton family.
Oh, wow, yeah.
They offered him a job. He could have had a job in Vegas. They're being head chef over there at the International.
Wow.
So, yeah. Then back then, my uncle was part of that other group of people that you better look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
knew some of the mobsters there?
Yeah, that's right. He knew them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew he took care of quite a few. He probably never say. Well, yes, he probably would say it, but he wouldn't say the name. But
sure.
But it's just like, he was what was he died in with the DI Desert Inn? Oh, Hacienda. It was a Hacienda. That's right. But anyways, that place always took care of, free everything for him.
Wow, yeah.
But anyways, I won't need to give him a shout out there.
Yeah.
Give him a shout. Yeah. I'll give Shirley a shout.
All right.
Your dad.
Well, that uncle.
Hey, Shirley, by the way, he might have known Trump.
That's right.
No, lately, he's getting pretty old. Then he went and flashed back, and he's saying to the people over there at the place where he was at that he knew Trump.
Yeah.
Then later on, it dawned on me, well, you know what, Shirley? He's probably right.
Yeah, right.
Back in that day, he was just a kid coming up. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, he knew a lot of people.
That's right.
Famous people.
Anyways, inside the International there, they had the casino theater. It's called the Bottoms. Well, they had the group called the Bottoms Up, the Characters, then again the Checkmates, Billy Eckstein, Red Foxx, Sammy Joe and the Lads, Spike Jones, Julio Amigos, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Frankie Lane, Little Anthony and the Imperials, Jerry Lee Lewis, Charlie Mann, Esther Morrow, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, Sammy Joe, Bobby Stevens and the Checkmates again, Joe Tex, Ike and Turner, Bobby Vinton, Rusty Warren, Knockers Up, Rusty Warren, okay, the Younger Brothers, and then I remember we used to go see a group called, do you remember these Stark Naked and the Car Thieves? Yeah, because that was one of the groups I think Mary liked. And we used to go out there with that.
What kind of band was that?
Oh, yeah, it was a top 40 kind of thing. Okay. So, whatever was going on. Yeah, that Stark Naked were the go-to band. If everything else, they wouldn't let us in. Yeah, Diana wasn't 21 yet, so we had to make sure to get her into some of these places. Of course, Mary wasn't 21 either.
Sure,
so
that's right.
You had to know these places that we can get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a bad boy.
Yeah. Bad influence.
Yep. But anyway, so that was it for about the International. So it was pretty full. Everything was good there. Then down the street there was a place called the Pussy Cat A-GoGo. Now this place was it was awesome. Yeah.
Wait, before you go there, did you go to many of those shows then at the International?
Well, at the International, I did go over here quite a few times. You'll never believe it.
Or do you have that later on in your stories?
Yeah, I think I got it later, but I could do it now. Yeah, I could do it now.
Sure.
Yeah, after we were married, Dan and I got married, June 69. And
don't mess up. No.
After that, then Diana would be working at the Sands Hotel, and I was still working, of course, at the post office in the base, on the base. And I dropped Diana off. She worked graveyard. So I dropped her off at maybe 11 or something, 12. Drop her off at 12. And then the last show at the International was Ike and Turner. So before I go to bed, I'd catch the night Ike and Turner show every night.
Oh, wow. No way.
I used to know everybody out there.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, I've seen it more than 100 times.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
All right. Every time I seen it, it was like I just first seen it.
Yeah.
It was so great.
That is great.
Yeah. I remember one time I ran into, Ike was not up to par. And so they still had to put on the show. So my friend, the one I talked to about once a year, Leon Blue.
Yes.
Yeah, he dressed up like Ike. And I was laughing, going, hey, at first I said, it's not Ike. And then I was going, whoops. Better not say anything,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's how familiar I was with Ike and Turner Review.
Oh, jeez.
Then, of course, Red Foxx. Red Foxx almost beat me up one night.
Why?
Yeah, I was staring at his girlfriend's her ring. She was playing the slots. And, I probably illegally took D up there to the slot area.
Right.
And anyway, so I kept looking at her ring, and I noticed it was was different. It was I think it was jade,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was the shape of a fox's head.
Oh, interesting.
And I was going, oh man, is that ever nice? Then I remember Red Foxx saying, "Hey boy, what y'all looking at over there? I'm gonna pop you right in the head."
Wow.
Sorry,
that,
sir.
That's that voice. Oh, that's too good.
Yeah, then of course the
All
Checkmates, and then Joe Tex, and Rusty Warren with the knockers up routine, and then I've probably seen Jerry Lee there. So I did the gamut, really, the ones that I like. Gladys Knight, of course, and then I guess that would be about it over there. So, oh, this is the international.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the other place. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So that part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I get over to the Pussy Cat.
Right.
Now that was a place that was on the Strip, right next to the Standard gas station. And then all the show girls would, after they got off work doing their show, they'd all come over to the Pussy Cat.
Oh, really?
So the best dancer I ever danced with was at the Pussy Cat. I've never danced with anybody better to this day, better than that girl I danced with at the Pussy Cat.
So what was the Pussy Cat?
Yeah, it was right on the Strip. And then it was in between maybe Caesar's over here and whatever's on the left side there. It was on the other side of the road, on the right side going in. But the famous people.
Was it more like a club though? Was it like just a?
No, it was a club.
It was a club. Okay.
But that was the first. Was that we seen Sly and the Family Stone there before there was Sly and the Family Stone almost.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of entertainment that was there. You couldn't get better.
Right.
So it was just like the ultimate. And then besides that, back that day, now you got to remember this is hookers were available.
Yeah.
So, they were there. And we were service guys.
Okay.
So then a lot of the hookers would go ahead and buy us drinks because they knew we didn't have cash.
Right.
But they needed to go ahead and make sure they weren't obvious when they were looking for their marks. So we'd sit there and have a drink with them, talk to them and everything else. And then finally when somebody would come in with $1 or two and they'd seen it, boom,
they'd go
gone.
Yeah.
And so that'd keep us there, and then it'd keep the club moving along with. So a lot of action, that kind of action was going on.
Yeah.
So, this is Vegas. Everything's free in Vegas. Right?
Not quite.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It'll come back around.
Yeah. So we'd have to be dressed up real nice to get inside there. Bell bottoms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'd have to look the part, really. Yeah, but that dance girl was just. I just remembered that. Never. I mean, she actually made me feel like I was floating. Yeah, she was so good. Yeah. Then
was it that?
Yeah,
what kind of music was that? Do you remember? It was. What it was?
No, it was good dancing music. So yeah, who knows? But it was good stuff, Yeah, but I was looking that up to go ahead. I was trying to find out. Was it called the Pussy Cat? What was that place called?
Right.
And then later on, when I found it, then I found out it was the Pussy Cat A-GoGo. And then they had a little footnote inside their club saying, Jim Morrison was asked to leave because he was no good again. He had rolled up a cigarette and he told everybody it was a joint. and the management got pissed at him and threw him out.
That's awesome.
The Jim Morrison boy, he's a wild guy.
Right. To catch him before the drugs, or maybe just before he's pinking.
Right, whatever. You couldn't tell he was telling the truth or not.
Right. That's good.
But anyway, so everybody would go there. So it wasn't just Jim Morrison, but it was all the people that knew the areas, that's where everybody went afterwards. Mm-hmm. You could only do the casino and gamble for so much. And after that, you run amok. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then the best thing was, well, for me, it was the best. Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't the best, but I meant it was top. It was top 1 or 2. Yeah, I saw the best. I call it the best. Yeah, at the Flamingo, they had Fats Domino playing inside the showroom there. Mm-hmm. And that's, by the way, Fats Domino sang at our wedding. So it was just so great to have
That's great.
Fats Domino.
Yeah.
And Diana's over there shaking her head. Right. Yeah. Because really what happened was we were married at this place called Little Chapel of the West. Mm-hmm. And the Little Chapel of the West is still there now. They moved it all over the Strip and every place.
Right.
But anyways, it's still there now. And we were married. We had our gathering. All the family was together, blah, blah, blah. We had our party, all that kind of thing. We still had plenty of time to goof off after it was over. So then I took Diana to the Flamingo. And who was there? Fats Domino. So I say, oh yeah, well, Fats Domino sang at our wedding.
That's right. Hey, that's fair, right?
That's why we had that. When we had our 50th wedding anniversary gathering.
Yes.
That's why we were playing Fats Domino.
Right. Yeah.
And then I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, beautiful.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was. To me, that was fantastic. Another thing about Fats Domino, though, was when Elvis first showed up, he did some other shows previously out there.
Right.
And because it was dealing with competing against like the Rat Pack group,
yes,
nobody really wanted to see Elvis.
Oh, really? So his popularity was down.
Right.
Yes.
So he wasn't. So I imagine that was the perfect spot for him at the International because it wasn't exactly on the Strip. It was behind the Strip.
Right.
And then that would be a good place for Elvis. But then he was extremely nervous. Mm-hmm. So then Elvis knew Fats from quite a while back. Well, Elvis knew everybody because Elvis was part of the Chitlin circuit.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't think we got into Chitlin yet. But anyways, we'll get into Chitlin as time goes on. But anyways, when you're playing that circuit, then everybody, gets to know each other. And, and they're familiar with each other. Mm-hmm. So then Fats was instrumental the Colonel was a pusher. Yeah, so he just, boom, go ahead. Go out there and just do it. Mm-hmm. And Elvis just, number one, he didn't want to be called the king. Mm-hmm. Because Fats was the king. So,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And then Diana and my mother, your grandmother, had the opportunity to meet Elvis and the Colonel. So it was, really a rare, rare thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, it was amazing to me. I just couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. But anyways, Fats Domino was over awesome. There. All right, did he? Yeah, but Fats Domino was over there, the one that told Elvis, how to relax, take it easy, what to do out there.
Right.
So then when because he went on with, I think maybe, a 4-piece, D? Yeah, 4 or 5 piece.
Small band.
Yeah, Scotty Moore and, just a few people. Mm-hmm. And then here, these other places, I mean, you go out there, you got a full horn section, you got 14 pieces up there. And then all of a sudden, here you are with 4 pieces. And you're performing to 500-800 people. Mm-hmm. Pretty thin.
Right, from I'm sure what he's used to.
Right, yeah. So it's just like,
a day, right? Yeah.
So, Fats went out there and then groomed him. Mm-hmm. And then aside from that, then, everybody else was, he probably went down to the Moulin Rouge himself because he was that kind of guy.
Sure.
So, he, think about it.
That's his influence,
Memphis,
too. Yeah, that's influence as well.
That's right.
Right,
everybody.
All the blues players.
He grew up with Tupelo. Mm-hmm. Tupelo, I'm sorry, that's really a tough place to grow up. Then the big city was Jackson. Yeah, pretty interesting place, too. Broke is broke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. And,
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. We got the word from our director over here, and she just gave us the flag saying we're over our budget.
It's all good.
So I guess on that note, we're gonna have to go ahead and do what the part 2 is. What you suggested?
We'll do part 2 definitely.
Okay.
And get on to more.
All right.
We talk a little bit about what you mentioned before, get some more details on other things.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's still got plenty more from different places. So it's just like, it's a hard topic really to go ahead and cover because there's so much.
Right.
And then every weekend we were out. Mm-hmm. So, and then during the week we were out before we were married. And then, it's just like you're there in the hub of entertainment. How could you not have a wonderful time all the time?
Right.
Your money's funny, but you're having a good time.
Funny money. I like it. All right. Well, we'll end on that note.
All right. All right. Funny money.
The funny money.
All right. Thank you, son.
All right.
Thank you, Didi.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
Till next week.
Yep. Cheers.
Thank you.